All right, well, we are getting ready to pack up and head out for the day. Going to be a little bit different today. We're not going to the border crossing where we've been working. I mentioned in an earlier video, maybe the first one, where I talked about how the channel is going to be different for a while. That we have some friends in Ukraine. Well, today we're going to be traveling south and going down into Slovakia, and then going across the border into Ukraine and getting some supplies to our friends. So, going to be a little bit different today from the normal pace that we've been maintaining. There's my messy bed, which is in my messy room, and here are a few of the things that we're taking in. We got quite a bit. We're going to be like a couple pack mules going in today, but obviously all of the men in Ukraine have to stay if they're between the ages of 18 and 60. So we're taking in some med kits. My son is also going to be packing quite a bit of stuff in, and my friend loves American beef jerky because all of the beef jerky in Ukraine is just absolute garbage. So picked up a couple packs of beef jerky as well, and also getting our GPS tracker charged up in case we need that, because my son, even though he has an American passport, he was born in Ukraine, and it says that on his passport. So if for some strange reason he would get held up coming back into the border, well, we might have to explore some alternative ways to get back over on this side, which is where this guy would come in. All right, so there you go. That's what we're doing today. Gonna go ahead and hop in the car, and yeah, got about 3.5 hours before we get to the border.
For 15 miles, continue straight.
All right, well, welcome to Slovakia. This is my first time ever being in the country of Slovakia, and unfortunately it's just going to be a drive-through country on this trip. I would love to come back and spend some time and learn a little bit more about the history, in this region. But yeah, for this trip, we're just making our way through, just passing through to get to Ukraine. Looks like we have maybe another 2 hours. A lot of this has reminded me of East Tennessee. It really kind of has that feel to it. This truck right here is making my life difficult. But yeah, it kind of feels like East Tennessee as you're going into the Appalachians, but pretty country for sure. Okay, now I know that we have a job to do today, but we left a little bit early just to give ourselves plenty of margin, and happened to be traveling right here in Slovakia and saw this German military cemetery right here along the way. So we're gonna take a quick look, not too long, but real quick. All right, so here is the name of this German cemetery, and as you can see, this is one. At first I thought it might be a World War I cemetery, but it is in fact a World War II German cemetery. So we're gonna go through and look at a few of the headstones here. One of the German cemeteries always just fascinate me. Just quite a bit different. Now, one thing that you'll notice with a lot of German cemeteries that we've seen in other videos that we've done on the History Traveler series is that you'll have several soldiers who will be buried in one grave. So here's one, Herbert Kunath. Looks like he died on September the 9th of 1944. Walther Wullerson, also September the 9th, 1944. There's another one, Hein Dunke, September the 8th, 1944. And it looks like they were all born in 1918. Here's one for two soldiers who were unknown, and also Ernst Spitzel. Hang on a second, I see another one up here that looks like it might have a picture with it. Wow. So all of these guys died in December of 44. Yeah, looks like we've got a photo of one of these soldiers maybe. All right, here are a few more. Boy, some of these are so hard to read. It looks like one for October, one for November of 44. These are a little bit easier to read here. So November 19th, November 15th, November 14th of 1944. So what we're looking at are soldiers who would have been killed as the Soviets were pushing them back to the west. And let me look at something on this one again. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 names there. And some more back here. Yeah, so of the German, let's see, 2 unknown soldiers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there might be the remains of 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 guys in this one. All of the other German cemeteries that I've been to, you'll see the remains of 2. I've seen 4. But we're looking at a lot of death here on the Eastern Front. So I guess underneath these grave markers, they would have had a lot more soldiers. Very interesting. All right, well, there you go. I know that with these updates from the crisis in Ukraine, we haven't really been getting much history, but history is definitely all around us. And here we see the cost of another war at another time. So it may not look like a very big cemetery, which it's not. But if you think about the fact that under each one of these markers, we have 6 to 8 bodies, well, obviously you can reasonably conclude that there are hundreds and hundreds of men who died here on the Eastern Front who are buried right here in Slovakia. All right, we are going to get back on the road. All right, so had a few little hiccups coming through there. Had a police officer who seemed pretty intent on not letting us through, but he eventually did. Man, the experience here, way different than what we've been seeing in Poland. Like, it's almost like a ghost town. I saw maybe, how many Lish do you think there were standing on the side of the road?
I didn't even see none.
15 maybe.
Yeah.
So about maybe 15 or 20. So that's just what I've seen driving in. But I mean, you can see here's the parking area, and it's us right here. So anyway, also there's another hiccup. You might be asking, why aren't we driving across into Ukraine? Well, I found out from the rental company that I am forbidden from taking this vehicle into Ukraine, and the guy made some pretty nasty threats to me of what would happen if I did. So we're having to take these supplies and pack them in, and we're going to meet somebody on the other side of the border. All right, here we go. My gosh, I can't get over this. Just a completely different world here on the Slovakian border. I mean, obviously they have some volunteer tents set up and there are people coming through here, but nothing like what you're seeing on the Polish border right now. All right, so here is the stupid situation that we're in right now. We need to get across the border here, but turns out either yesterday or today they shut down pedestrian traffic, so we can't walk over. The people who are over there didn't bring their passports with them, so they can't come over and get us. So we gotta try and hitch a ride, which kind of is a little weird, but yeah, we're gonna see if we can find our way across. All right, sweet. We just got a ride here. So I'm gonna jump in here and then go. Oh. All right, well, that was fortunate. Didn't have to wait too long. Had a van stop here, and they're gonna give us a ride across the border. We might have some problems here. My son has an American passport, but they seem really hung up on the fact that he was born in Ukraine. All right, well, we made it through, but dang, that was about the sketchiest thing that I've been a part of in a while. Had some issues with this guy right here because he was born in Ukraine. They were having some questions about who we were and what our motives were. But anyway, we made it across. And now we're across the border into Ukraine. But anyway, probably not going to be doing much filming from here. The family that we're bringing supplies into, I know them well, and they're pretty private. So gonna shut the camera off and see if we can find our ride. All right, a little dark. We have completed our task and are packing out a little bit lighter than we packed in. I know that some people would have liked to have seen more of what was going on, like in Ukraine and what we saw. Really, in this corner of the country, life is kind of carrying on as normal, but you can maybe see that statue behind me. We're back here at the border, hoping that we can cross out and go back to our vehicle. But again, I didn't film anything because we're visiting friends, and I just don't want to pull the camera out, and be filming that during that time. It's, more personal than anything. But did hear some horrible stories of what is going on during this war. One in particular, my friend was telling me about a guy who was escaping from northwest of Kiev, and said there was bullets flying and bombs and everything like that, and said they would run for a little bit and then they would have to drop down to the ground as bullets were flying over them, get up, run for a little bit, drop back down to the ground. They did this for about 2 kilometers, and he said what was bad about it is whenever you dropped, you had to drop wherever you were at, and a lot of times you were dropping down on dead bodies. So a lot of ugliness in this war, and we're hoping that it ends soon because we're seeing the terrible effects of it. But anyway, made our way into Ukraine, did what we came here to do, and we're going to make our way back up through Slovakia tonight, get back into Poland, and be ready to get back after it tomorrow.